Ladies and gentlemen, Mandira Bedi, we all loved it, right? जो भी देखा हमने screen पे, एक बार जोरदार तालियां for her, come on. Ma'am, therapy, healing and emotional conversations seem to be a central theme in this film. How important have these ideas been for you in your personal life? Please tell us.
Oh, very much so. That's a lovely question. I didn't know what to expect when you started with me. But I think therapy and counseling and, digging deeper and finding answers, that's very much been a part of my life. And the first time I went to therapy and the first time I went to a counselor was 20-something years ago. And the only counselor's name and number I had was somebody I'd interviewed on a TV show, and that's how I had a number. And I remember telling my mom, I went for a therapy session. She said, "Why? What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, I needed I needed to air out something. She said, "But you could talk to me." And I'm like, no. I wanted to talk to somebody who is equipped to help me and who's unbiased and who can show me perspective.
Yes.
And so therapy has very much been a part of my life, and whenever I find anything amiss in my life for a period of time, or I feel off balance, I have gone to a therapist, I've gone to a counselor, and I have benefited greatly. And when Paddy came to me with this role, it was also at a time when I lost my husband. So in some sense,
there's this thing, I know. Let's just hear it for her, ladies and gentlemen. One of the strongest women that we've known, of course, on screen and off screen. Off screen jo hota hai na, wo bahut,
it was healing for me, and that's why I did it.
I think I have to ask you this. A lot of people say that, seeking professional help, they just shy away from doing that. They say कि नहीं, therapist क्या है? वो, as you said, ma'am told you कि चल मेरे से बात कर. So that happens. What do you have to say to people who just, think कि यार मेरे को professional help नहीं चाहिए, अगर मैं वहाँ गई, I'll be tagged in a certain manner or...
Unfortunately, in our country, therapy is always looked at as something taboo and something that, oh my God, something is wrong with this person. And post the pandemic, mental health conversations started, and over the last little while, mental health has become a conversation. Every organization has counselors, every organization has hotlines. So I think it's a conversation that was long overdue, and mental health is not just, अरे आप थोड़ा एक exercise कर लो, आप ठीक हो जाओगे, या चलो snap out of it. It's not like that. I think we take mental health a lot more seriously than we did, let's say 5 years ago. So I think this movie and the way it unfolds, it has so many wonderful messages. One is that we repeat. We have generational patterns. We parent how we've been parented. This has so many messages, and we need to take time to process things we've never processed and realize things about ourselves which we've never realized. And sometimes a person on the outside can show you the mirror.
Yes.
A person from the outside can give you perspective. So I'm very, very privileged to be a part of this film. It was a wonderful healing journey for me as well. And it's a beautiful film. It's about time it came, and the world, got to see it. So I'm very, very happy for its release, and more power to it, and more power to everybody over here. And
all right, before we wrap this up with you, just one last thing, ma'am. We have to talk about that particular scene where Adil sir's there and he's crying, with his head on your lap. We have to talk about it because that's something that...
I can't give everything. Give me the old
No spoilers,
no,
please.
I can't tell you everything, but I can tell you that counseling is the therapy goes through is
around Max, Min and Meowzaki. Talk to us about it. How did you say, okay, this is what I want to name my film?
Yeah. Okay. see, I'm a South Indian, and you know my name is there. I don't think anyone will remember it when they leave because it's Padma Kumar Narasimha Murthy.
Yes.
I've grown up, you know, feeling deep and acute sympathy for all South Indians with long names like this, and which is why, you know, like Padma Kumar becomes Paddy, Ramakrishnan becomes Ramki,
yes.
Akhileshan becomes Alex, you know. So, and I'm from advertising, so we've, you know, been giving names to products, to brand ingredients, and you know, materials and stuff like that. So we are obsessed with names.
Yes.
You know, and yeah. So I did want to write a film about this South Indian community. You know, people. I mean, it's about a lot of people, of course, in this film. But yeah, so I gave the lead character the most trite and boring name ever, Mahesh Mahadevan. Okay, and then I thought, what would Mahesh do to make his name sound a little less trite, right? So then I said, okay, Max. All right, maybe that's a good idea. And of course, I mean, my kids are big Miyazaki fans. You know, my daughter's here, and yeah. So I used to always say, you know, when we get a cat, we'll call the cat meowzaki. I've always, so I had Max and meowzaki, and then I thought it'd be cute to bring a woman into the mix called Min, you know. So that's how it all. So the name, of course, it just has some playful, you know, background to it, if you like. You know, advertising, beleaguered South Indians with boring names, unglamorous, you know, all of that, and some in it coolness, I guess.
Right. You know, talking about coolness, we know the movie's gotten a lot of love globally. Talk to us about that, because advertising professionals, awards, they go hand in hand. But here, for a feature film, you've got so much love, and that too from across the globe. Talk to us about that, please.
You know, that was crazy because when we made the film, we didn't really look at it as being this art house, you know, award winning. It isn't also, you know. It has 3 songs. Actually, it has 4 songs, 3.5 songs. Okay, and yeah, so we were like, you know, okay, it's a film, it's an entertainer, it's going to be a sweet, feel good, that kind of thing. But luckily, a programmer who had seen my first film, A Billion Color Story, she's a Japanese woman called Kyoko Dan. She called up and she said, Adil told me you have a new film. I said, yeah, Kyoko, but you know, it's not one of these festival art house type of. No, just shut up and send it to me, she said. I sent it to her and she said, I love it. Okay, and because it has a Miyazaki connection, let's have it open the Tokyo Film Festival. So I said, oh, wonderful, lovely. Then she said, you know what, Busan's a much bigger festival, let's send it to Busan. So that's where we had our world premiere. And then from that point on, you know, it just started. And the moment it gets picked up at Busan, it kind of, then people, you know, their attentions kind of peak. And then we re-edited the film a little, and then sent it to Palm Springs where it made best of best. And then from that point on, it was kind of, but the best thing I feel is that in a lot of these festivals, we had repeat viewings. There are people who came up and said, hey, we're watching it for the second time, we're watching it for the third time. At Palm Springs, they asked us for an extra screening, you know. So that was really, really quite lovely. And I'm, you know, since then, you know, I've had, I'm not really much of a social media star or anything, but I've had messages from people everywhere saying, when's your film coming out?
Right.
So I guess, you know, that's huge affirmation.
Right.
So yeah, that is quite lovely. So festivals, I mean, one thing about festivals is that you get to meet a lot of very interesting people. You see some inspiring cinema.
Yes.
You know, all of that. So yeah, that's really how it was. And of course, Samiksha and I, you know, we went to Busan together, and she was about to have a baby, and she came, and we had a Sid, Adil, we were all there. It was just quite insane, and Busan's one of those places where people love filmmakers. You know,
Yes.
they give you so much love. They treat you like royalty.
And we're going to do that here too. Yes.
I just want to add one thing, please. ये audience के लिए है. Busan हम लोग गए थे, South Korea. We all know how big South Korea is in India or all over the world.
Yes.
I'm very proud to say that the South Koreans have loved our film and loved it how. So since they have loved the film, I'm sure all the youngsters will take a cue and watch our film. That's all I want to
We
have.
get a lot of love, of course.
Yeah, we got a gazillion Korean hearts when we were there. It was,
Wow.
yeah, it was like a sea of Korean hearts.
Amazing.
I got messages from people on Instagram, like random accounts from there. And initially I was very confused. I was like, where am I getting these messages from? And then I'm like, oh yeah, they had a screening. So yeah, so that was really.
This is fabulous. Sir.
The other thing is that the South Koreans, they take the pain to learn your name. Okay? And they never call me Paddy. They all just call me Pafuma Naha Himamo. That's how they call me. You know? All of them. So but it is respectful, you know. It's nice in a way.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for this character. Talk to us about that, and how did it all start for you?
Hello. Yeah. Hello. Yes. First of all, thank you so much for all your kind words. Yeah. You've given me enough warmth for the rest of the year. I think it's lovely. Thank you so much. And बहुत शुक्रिया सबको. So this came to me at a very at a time when I was very lost and confused when it came to my career. I really did not know where I was, and people were finding more reasons to not take me than to take me. It's not that anybody was being rude or anything, it's just the way the business is. And here came one beautiful soul, Paddy, and out of the blue, he just called me and he said, I want to narrate something to you. And 3 hours on a Zoom call, and I was moved. That narration itself was a therapy session for me. You know, I mean, and everybody will agree, the way Paddy narrates, and he writes so beautifully. Every comma on the page, every exclamation mark, every pause is intended. And we just had to show up, honestly, really, and take this emotion. जो पेज के ऊपर से वो कूद रहा था, मतलब, you know, तो मैंने actually कुछ नहीं किया, मैंने बस उसको surrender किया. And I remember making a note मेरे दिमाग में कि अगर audience को जो उस narration में मुझे feel हुआ, वो अगर audience feel करेगी, तो then we have done our job. You know, so वो mission था. Apart from that, this boy, he's such a nice, you know, ऐसे किरदार मेल किरदार लिखते नहीं हैं लोग enough, who are not afraid, who's not afraid to be vulnerable, who's not afraid to cry, you know, who's not toxic at all.
Right.
No matter what he's gone through or what he's going through. And I'm very happy that Max is a character which is representing the younger generation, because I'm also part of that, and I work with a lot of people who are way younger than me, like 10 years, 12 years. And when I see them, I see Max, you know. बहुत बार हम लोग जनरेशन को बहुत गाली देते हैं, ये कैसी जनरेशन है, वो हर एक जनरेशन के साथ होता ही है. But I have big hopes for the younger generation. I think they're going to change the world, and they are, slowly and silently. And Max is a representative of that. And yeah, I mean, yeah, that was.
Quickly, if you have to talk about, you know, chilling on sets with the gentleman here, of course.
So I have to. I'm a South Indian, okay, and when I got to know that Nasir sir is going to play my grandfather, I have called my entire family and said that, you know, guess who I'm working with, guess who I'm working with. And I think there is, we chilled a lot. You saw वो scene देखा end में we are on the bed. So I'll tell a small little kissa. We were shooting that scene, and we never moved out of the bed. You know, shot ek ho jata hai, and then the camera shifts, the setup shifts, so 5-7 minutes go. But we never exited the room. We were lying down. And between every setup change, both me and Nasser sir were taking power naps with each other like this. And then they would come and say, Siddharth sir, Nasser sir, shot ready. Ready. And then, so it was that simple. So you're such a great man. I mean, because he works like as if it's his first time, and he was talking about shedding ego and all of this. I think everybody, even Adil sir, Vidhatri, all of us, I think we belong to the same school in the sense that the work that we do, in between action and cut, we do not exist. We are irrelevant at that point. Only these people exist at that, and that just happens, So we were all with that happening, and that is what is translated here. I believe.
Thank you so much for
Thank
sharing
you.
all of that. Of course, we know 550 plus films, and you've excelled in each and every role of yours. Here, did you have to do some extra prep for this?
550 is only numbers if I count down, which will be really closer to the heart. It's very less, and Maximilian is one of them. After 550 films, it's not about adding numbers, adding your bank balance. It's all, as you get old, you look for moments to retain. So I have been busy in South. When this film came, Paddy, I told I have to be there, but I was committed to another film. It's my manager, who's my wife. She said, you are doing this film, and she did. That's why I'm here. Thank you, Paddy, for giving wonderful moments. I can remember each and every day we shot, because it was not like a film set. We never behaved like film stars. None of us were stars, but
Or all of us are.
all of us are. So it was a wonderful moment, and Paddy. I have to thank Paddy for so many things, because he was able to give the strength, the clarity, the commitment, everything. He, without talking that directly, he kept us. This film is very important to me because it talks about 3 generations. I know when I saw Adil Hussain, my son, on the screen, I remembered my father, because he used to take all the decisions. I never wanted to become an actor, and never. Okay, I was in Air Force, I was working for a hotel, and he pushed me. He said, "You are becoming an actor." So I saw my father in Adil Hussain. That's why I gave all the freedom to my grandson, Siddharth. It's wonderful. There are 2 things in the film. One is micro level and macro level. If you see micro level, it's about the human relationship, how we are differing with each other, how we are trying to fall in it, and in macro level, it is about how this nation is going towards, and what can be done. So it is not only a story, as Nafisama said, it is a journey. I think that's what we all went through. Thank you, Samiksha, for making this film, because it's very hard to find a producer to make a sensible film. And so we all thank you. Thank you, Paddy. And thanks to my all colleagues, and especially Nafisa ji. I had to prepare myself, because my wife said, "What is she?" Because she is a woman understands a woman better. So she said she's that and she's that. She's a sportswoman. She's a pageant, and she's a politician. She's a thing. So, why you are giving me so many information? I have to, perform together in the same frame. Then, the moment I saw I saw a wonderful, beautiful child. Child, I should say. See, such a great woman. Where, these are the great moment where you have to kill your ego. The first shot, we are getting prepared, and we are standing together. I'm all, with all this, not fear, something kind of a great respect. I'm standing. She came and told me, "Sir, Nazir sir, I don't remember anything about films. After a very long time, I'm coming for the first time. Can you please help me, sir, to go ahead?" Nobody can, no actor wants to tell this, right? No actor, even if it's, she came and I felt so nice, and I learned how humble you should be, how open you have to admit yourself at any situation. She's a wonderful woman. We spoke so many things. Thank you, Nafisaji, for giving me wonderful moments. Thank you.
Thank you, mate, director. But here, as an actor, do you enjoy being in front of the camera more, or is it like directing more? And how was the experience here?
Being in front of the camera is good fun, and it's easy and it's enjoyable.
Right.
Being behind the camera is much tougher,
Right.
but it has its own rewards. So I like playing both. It has its own ups and downs.
Right. So one takeaway from this entire thing, the journey of this film, if there is something for you.
Actually, when I didn't know Paddy before doing this film, and through a friend, I got to speak to him, and I read the script, and the script was beautiful. I was struggling with writing a script for my own film, and there are times where you feel how easily or how beautifully this person writes, coming from nowhere. So the script was beautifully written. It's not, I mean, I looked at it more as a director than the part that I would be playing. So when I read the script, I said, this is a beautiful script, plus it has a cat, and I love cats. All my animation films have cats, but in none of my live action films did I act with a cat. Not that I got to act with a cat, but I'm in a film with a cat. And I really, first thing I asked him is not even my role and all. I said, how are you going to get this cat to act in your film?
Right.
I mean, that was more of a mystery for me and more something which is intriguing as directors.
Right.
But apart from that, yeah, I think the first day when I went for a reading, I had a scene with Adil Hussain, and Adil Hussain is like somebody I really look up to, and he's a great actor. So I was very nervous, and I went for a reading. I don't think Paddy even figured out that I'm nervous, but at the end of the reading, he just made me feel very comfortable, and so did Adil, saying, you're quite natural. What you've done is like good. It changed a lot when I was finally shooting, but the comfort which Paddy, understanding me as a director, not an actor, put me through, and Adil did, and my scenes were mostly with him only, was what eased me into the role, made me feel very comfortable, and I've got a very tiny role in the film. I'm very surprised to be sitting over here also, but that's Paddy's generosity, like it's not, like he said, it's not a small role. But yes, I'm playing in an autobiographical sense, his mother. So that means a lot.
Thank you. Zehen mein that you thought, okay, I want to back this project.
First of all, I would like to say first thanks to Paddy for bringing this script to me. Actually, मैंने ये manifest किया था जब मैंने पैडी की फिल्म देखी थी मुंबई फिल्म फेस्टिवल में, बिलियन कलर स्टोरी. I said how beautiful this film is. मुझे तब मैं प्रोड्यूसर नहीं थी, I was into acting, लेकिन फिर भी मेरा दिल किया कि मैं ऐसी फिल्म प्रोड्यूस करूं who talks about love. उस फिल्म में बहुत जो आजकल हो रहा है, कास्टिज्म, world is falling apart, lot of problems. So that film is from a child's point of view. तो मेरे मन में था कि कभी मैं पैडी के साथ काम करूं, and God manifested that dream of giving me a chance to be a producer, to bring those stories forward. I think it's my father-in-law's blessings as well. He produced Pinjar. So Pinjar was, I hope all of you have seen that film. So when I discussed this with my family, they said make something sensible. So मुझे लगा कि ये सब हमारी कल्चरल स्टोरीज तो फिर भी बहुत आ गई हैं, लेकिन हम लोगों की आपस की स्टोरीज, हमारे खुद के रिलेशनशिप में हर किसी के घर में एक स्टोरी है, तो वो सब हम उसको इम्पोर्टेंस ही नहीं देते हैं. एंड वी जस्ट गो फॉर इंस्टेंट ग्रेटिफिकेशन. हम जैसे फास्ट फूड खा लेते हैं, उस टाइम तो मज़ा आता है, लेकिन बाद में हमें लगता है कि आवर बॉडी नीड्स सम नरिशमेंट. आई फील दिस फिल्म इज़ लाइक अ नरिशमेंट टू योर हार्ट. So when you watch this film, you feel as if you have not wasted your 2-3 hours of time in life. You are gaining something out of it. उससे इतना अच्छा मैसेज लेके जाते हो अपनी फैमिली के लिए कि अल्टीमेटली यू हैव टू कम बैक टू योर फैमिली, टू द लव, टू द होप, टू मूविंग अहेड विद इन स्पाइट ऑफ ऑल दिस challenges we face every day. And okay, then I told my family, especially Shell, I told him that let's make something which is not like a newspaper, which is not just instant, momentarily लोगों को पढ़ के बस मजा आ जाए. Let's make something which is like a book in a library, which people keep it forever. They want to show it to your generations. So we all were like very convinced, whether it does commercially good or not, we just pass on a very good message. That's it.
And
Bad, and I don't want to act. And Paddy said no, 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 and he gave me the courage of facing the camera again, irrespective of the trauma my body was going through. So I'm grateful for that. I'm still fighting.
yes, you're still fighting, and we know that how awesome you are. And जहाँ तक कैमरे के आगे खड़े होने की बात है मैम, वो gorgeousness थी, है और हमेशा रहेगी. नफीसा मैम के लिए एक बार जोरदार तालियां. You know, talk to us about this amazing cast here. It's an ensemble that you know people are talking about कि एक से बढ़ के एक लोग हैं. How was it working with all of them?
Mainly it's about young people. Gen Z, what are you?
You're the youngest one.
Absolutely.
But it's so important, and Paddy's vision of making this film, and I think the producer, Mrs. Oswal, has created a subject which today in our world we need to see. There's too much of aggression, violence, and I think the wrong messages. This film is a film that connects. And I really hope that the young generation, which is over 28 years of age, are young, and the rest of us are old. So it's important that young people have a philosophy and have an avenue of thinking about important things. And that's what this film is about. So I enjoyed working in it. I enjoyed being spoiled. And I enjoyed my co-star, who gave me wonderful moments in this film. This film is really a journey of life. It's a journey that needs to be seen not only in theatres, because most of us sit in OTT platforms. We all sit at home. I really hope and pray that this film becomes an OTT, a commitment for good cinema, because this is a good film.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing that. Ma'am, then you keep us. This is for you. We want to, you know, talk to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Nasser sir ke liye ek baar zordar taaliyan. Fun kiya. We were there, we had fun and all that. This is there in your hearts. So what did you feel while filming for this? And how is it going to, you know, be there with you forever, if at all?
Wow, that's a nice question. It's just taken me back to the shooting days. So, honestly, for me, when I was working on this film, firstly, it didn't feel like shoot for me. Like how Sid mentioned that, you know, like we all just got along so well. And about the emotional journey, I think for me initially was very challenging, because Carol as a character is written so beautifully by Paddy, and she is the kind of person who basically deals with all the storms in her life with so much grace, joy, confidence, and warmth that for me to be able to relate to that character initially was very challenging. It's because I was personally going through a devastating loss. I had lost my dad, and we had got into prep literally a week and a half after he passed away. And so in the beginning it was very like I was having a hard time to find Carol's light because I was struggling to find my own. And sometimes as actors, like we put a little bit of ourselves also into the character, and I was unable to do that initially. But I give that entire credit to Paddy because he did not give up on me. Like, he held my hand throughout the shoot, and I'm so grateful for that. And Sid, like, he's one of the best co-actors I could have asked for, because on set at times I used to just blank, and I could not at times I wouldn't be able to even like perform on some days, but these guys were just amazing to work with, and forever grateful for this experience. And my biggest takeaway actually playing this character would be the fact that no matter how much ever happens in your life, when the whole world is just pushing you to shut down, you can always choose happiness, warmth, and joy. And that is what I learned from Carol, and that is what I hope that people take away from the film.
I'm sure they will. Thank you so much for sharing that. Ladies and gentlemen, July 24th is when we'll get to watch this film in theatres. I'll come to the producers.